Now, out of all the mediguns, I think the quick fix is the most interesting, and probably the most fun and versatile to use. Yes, stock Uber is good for pocketing people, and the Kritzkrieg is good at getting free crits to anyone because crits are very much, unfair to play against. Then you have the good old-fashioned, the quick fix. Now, the quick fix is in a weird spot because you already have two things that do pocketing really well. So this is where this thing comes in. This heals people faster, 40% specific, and has a 10% faster Uber charge rate than stock. But the downside is you cannot overheal much. It's like a 25% overheal rate to a 50%. Meaning your job is to heal faster and get more people healed, rather than stock Ubers try and focus on one person to get them, the big Uber push that you can need with both the quick fix and the crit creep. And weird thing is, this weapon's built strangely because, yes, while it's supposed to encourage, make sure everyone's healed, it also has a perk of whenever you're healing someone who rocket jumps, you get sent with them, or any type of explosive, such as blast jumping with a sticky jumper. So I guess that technically could put you in a way, if you're healing someone, it will throw you into the place where you need the most. But on the other hand, if you're healing someone and they accidentally rocket jump, you get sent with them. And that can be a problem because sometimes you get launched up into a sniper sight line that you don't want to be in.
Fuck,
Oh, it hurts up here, it hurts up here, it hurts up here.
God, this demo night make it
No, where'd you go? I saw on the roof when he went up, I went farther up and I just got... Now, another thing to mention is that the quick fix's Uber, just like every one of mediguns, also has the different Uber, where this one makes you heal at a faster rate. Now, the problem with this is the faster rate, well, yes, it will make it so that you can survive things you really shouldn't. Mainly, this is the only one I really feel like you can use selfishly, because, to be perfectly honest, let's say you're taking on like a sentry, the sentry will still kill you. It's not like the vaccinator where you get the resistance to the bullets, or just straight up Uber, or the Kritzkrieg where you can only take it out with one rocket from the direct hit if you have it critzed. So, this Uber is the one I'd say used most selfishly, and that's actually kind of the whole thing with this metagun. It is very much, personally, a more selfish and less selfish at the same time, because you aren't here to pocket one person, you are here to make sure everyone gets healed. So your Uber really incentivizes that because it increases the healing rate and it puts, I think, at higher slightly, but you also overheal yourself. But the problem is this is still the only this is like the only minigun where you're actually worried about what's happening. Compared to, let's say, stock, where you pop Uber and you practically just make sure you don't run into a pyro for the next 10 seconds because they'll air blast you away. Here is a live recreation of a quick fix.
You are trying my patience!
But compared to stock, this is a lot funner because A, you get the movement to come back, which is honestly one of the funnest things because you can medic garden with it. Someone launches up in the air and you have the Uber saw and you gotta stab them. Or you get stuck with, ground floor. This thing also got an indirect nerf with Jungle Inferno. With Jungle Inferno, this used to be the only thing that would allow you to speed up. So charging Delman and Scouts, you could like connect Medibeam on, and then when they sped up, you'd speed up with them. It's not for charging Delman, but mainly for Scouts, because Scouts are generally up in the front line first. This was given to every medigun, which, yes, I personally think this is like a really good change. Every medigun should be able to should allow you to keep up with the person you're healing, but it kind of sucks now that you took away one of the best features of this weapon, trying to get to the front line faster, and gave it to everything, which starts pushing them farther and farther ahead of this. Because this thing already was at like the middle ground, like, yeah, it's powerful, but it's not too overpowered, where now it's like, it feels a lot weaker than the other, it's starting to feel a lot weaker than the other ones, because it doesn't really do much. If your team is like actually smart, playing smart, and not taking much damage. or if they're a bunch of black box soldiers who already heal, which kind of take away like your purpose. Personally, self-healing is already hurts this because this is supposed to be just spread healing. So any type of self-healing on teammates hurts this weapon already, because yes, while it hurts medics, a lot of medics try and like pocket one person, which I think's fine, but it's not the way I like to play. I like to make sure everyone's in there for longer, so you know, you get more damage out of your team, because you know, more people, more damage. You get the idea. But this weapon's fun to use. I like this. But this does actually have a use with Uber chaining, because if you have both a stock Uber user and a medi quick fix user, when you pop both Ubers at the same time, you can't be air blasted and you can't be killed. So you gotta run around where you literally have no weaknesses. Because the two main things the quick fix falls from is burst damage, such as like a bunch of rockets. Really long time to sustain damage, such as sentry or heavy, because I'm going to be honest, if you pop a quick fix Uber next to a heavy that's gun is red, you are not winning that. Even if you have your own heavy, stock Uber will beat it 20 times out of 10. There is literally no point of popping it to counter pop it unless you need to get out of there or you need to heal, which is actually one of the things I do like. This actually does heal you. So you have that going for it. You have that in the movement. So, this, personally, if you want to use this, like, competitively, even though I don't even think it's a lot in competitive because the faster healing rate messes with it, the best way to use it would be to never start with it, always start with the stock minigun, because that first Uber is probably the most crucial. That had the crit creek on that, because if you don't get a first good push, you are not going to have the momentum going for it. And then, after that, when you actually get into the battle, then you swap to it, because that's when your team's going to be all more separated out, trying to make sure they take the fights and win. But the quick fix, it's quick, it fixes people, and it's probably the most mixed weapon, because it's not really supposed to help the roamer, but it's supposed to help you get to the other people with the roamer. So it's a very confused design for a very fun weapon, but at least it's more balanced than the Vaccinator, so, which actually will be the next video for this. So, alright, take care y'all, like, comment, subscribe, I'm out.